Graffiti is sometimes a really dangerous endeavor, and it can be deadly. Los Angeles, California, a sprawling city known for its vibrant street culture and its concrete jungle. But within this urban landscape, hidden among the hustle and bustle, is a world that exists in the shadows, a world where art, adrenaline, and risk collide. This is the story of one such collision. This is the story of Daniel Supple, known to the streets as Ozzy, a graffiti artist with a reputation for pushing the limits of urban expression. But one night, that very passion for art would nearly cost Ozzy their life. On an evening in Los Angeles, Ozzy climbed to the top of a concrete pylon towering high above a busy freeway. His mission? To paint the side of an overpass with his graffiti. What began as an act of artistic defiance would soon turn into a fight for survival. At the time, Ozzy was no stranger to climbing heights. For years, he'd scaled everything from abandoned buildings to the tops of freeway signs. Graffiti writers like Ozzy thrive on adrenaline, creating something raw and real in places others would fear to go, but this time the danger would be too much to handle. While perched high above the traffic below, Ozzy lost his footing. 1 second he was standing tall on the edge of the pylon, the next, he was falling. It was a 100-foot drop, about 30 meters, straight down to the embankment below. The impact was devastating. The sound of traffic continued to hum on the freeway as emergency responders rushed to the scene. Ozzy was found lying unconscious on the embankment, a victim of a fall that could have been fatal. Ozzy's injuries were severe. The fall caused multiple spinal fractures, 2 broken ankles, and a shattered left arm. These injuries would mark the beginning of a long and painful recovery process. Falling from such a height can lead to a wide range of injuries. Spinal fractures are particularly concerning because of the risk of paralysis. The broken bones, while painful, are less dangerous than the possibility of internal injuries or trauma to the spinal cord. Ozzy was incredibly lucky that he didn't sustain more severe damage. Despite the severity of his injuries, Ozzy survived. But survival came at a cost. Ozzy's life, as they knew it, would never be the same. A long road to recovery lay ahead, full of physical therapy, surgeries, and a deep emotional toll. Ozzy was always chasing that high, whether it was the adrenaline of sneaking into abandoned places or climbing to the top of those huge pylons. But Ozzy wasn't just doing it for the thrill. He wanted his graffiti to be seen. He believed graffiti was more than just vandalism. It was a form of expression, a way to communicate with the world without words. Graffiti, often misunderstood and criminalized, is an art form deeply rooted in the urban landscape. For many, it's a way to make a statement, to be seen in a world that often overlooks them. But as Ozzy's story demonstrates, the pursuit of artistic expression can come at a heavy price. Here's the only known news story on Ozzy's graffiti incident.
A graffiti tagger who tumbled nearly 100 feet from a San Diego freeway overpass this morning faces surgery tonight to mend a half-dozen bone fractures he suffered in that fall. Late today, his condition was upgraded from critical to fair.
Mark, Caltrans officials believe that 19-year-old Daniel Supple may be responsible for up to $70,000 in graffiti vandalism here in Southern California over the past 4 months. But with his apprehension today, Supple now faces 21 counts of felony vandalism.
Authorities say 19-year-old Daniel Supple was putting the finishing touches on his moniker Ozzy when he slipped, falling nearly 100 feet onto the southbound shoulder of the San Diego freeway early this morning. The Woodland Hills resident was taken to UCLA Medical Center with a broken arm, 2 fractured legs, and injuries to his spine.
It's all about just being recognized by their peers and by others, and that's why they want to be able to be seen.
But going up high and doing it over a freeway.
Going up high and being on a freeway like that is obviously very dangerous, and not all of them do it, and just probably the more prevalent ones do.
Officer Campbell had been monitoring Supple's monikers for more than 4 months. Supple was busted for spraying his moniker on public property 18 months ago. At the time, he was calling himself Hawk, but he recently resurfaced as Ozzy, and increased surveillance and even barbed wire failed to slow him down much until today.
Well, Caltrans, what they've started in the past, they've tried barbed wire and razor wire, and they've also went to putting hoods over some of the bigger signs. Most of the signs the kids kind of will be able to stay off of, but some of them they can still get to.
Late this afternoon, friends of Supple's returned to the scene of his near-tragic fall to see his work firsthand.
I guess to most people it'll be a stupid thing, but obviously to him it was an important thing to do, so, everyone has their different confused with what's right and wrong, and everyone has important things. This was an important thing for him, I guess.
Now, authorities say they are in fact looking for a second suspect tonight, someone they believe helped Supple get up over the fence of the overpass behind me and tag this particular overpass. Authorities also tell me that they believe the graffiti task force has been working in the past several months, and there is a definite reduction in graffiti throughout Southern California. However, with school getting out and summer upon us, they fear that the taggers will soon be out on the streets once again.